Okay, so we're going to go over why you might get a bit of a hip kick when you squat. So in your case, what we're seeing is that your right leg is your dominant leg. So this is my right leg right here. And you're coming up, and I'm going to do it from like both directions. You're coming up like this, and you're feeling this happen. But you're kind of kicking towards it. So what's happening here is you're doing this. You're going down evenly, and as you come up, we're seeing this little like kick where you're piking up into your right hip. So this motion here, where you're kind of piking up, if you want to look at what it means. So if I was to walk forwards and I was to go really heavy on my right leg to put all my weight through, look what happens. I shift into it, like my hip pikes up. My hip kind of pikes through this way because I need to load up my hip to then push off for the next one. So the same thing would happen if like I walked into my left foot. Look, I have to center myself by shifting my weight onto that side. So if you were to, let's say, have a limp, so you've got like a busted ankle, what would you do? On, let's say it's on my left leg, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to favour pushing onto my right leg like this. Like, can you see how like all my weight is going through my right leg, and I'm trying to keep centered over my right? What's happening is that usually it means that there's some kind of rotation or some kind of like muscle action in your left side that means that instead of putting your weight evenly, so if you look at this line here, I'm dropping evenly. So this line here is like the middle of my hip. So I'm just going to hold it like this, like that. As you come up, instead of that line staying right in the middle of your feet like this, we're seeing it deviate like this. And what does that mean? Well, it basically means you're trying to shift like this. You're trying to shift your weight onto your stronger side. So that's why the right side might feel irritated. It's why the right side might not feel mobile. It's because you're just asking it to do more than the other side. So what that would suggest is if you're kicking over like this, when you kick over into your leg like this, it means you're internally rotating more. So if I center myself over my foot like this, which is basically the extreme version of what you're doing, where you're just getting a bit of hip kick like this, it means that I'm internally rotating. I'm sitting into my glutes and my rotators and in this hip more, and just generally loading that leg more. So if I do this, what's happening to this leg? Well, this leg now, this is externally rotating away. So what it would suggest is that when you're in this position, for some reason, you're not able to internally rotate your left leg as well. So instead of being able to sit here and being able to stay even like this, you're having to do this to be able to kick away and get into that side that internally rotates better. And the reason you want to internally rotate the leg and stay centered is because it allows you to use your glute more. So what it would suggest is it's not the right side, it actually suggests it's the left side that doesn't necessarily have that great of glute activation or glute strength. And that's why I like internally rotate, because if you internally rotate, come inside, that's actually stretching your glute the most. So it's not your right side that's the issue. Your left side is the issue, and it's causing you to feel like your right's a problem because you're twisting into it and you're forcing it to do all the work. I hope that explains it. That's generally a problem a lot of people will have, and it kind of looks like the side you're twisting into is the bad one, but that's the one doing all the movement. So just try and think of it that way. What are you doing in terms of shifting your hips across? Where are you shifting them to? You're shifting them to put weight across one leg more than the other. So ask yourself why that is, and then you'll be able to fix it all.